Okay. Hello, 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 my people. Welcome to the Human Handbook, where we will continue our conversations about everything that you need to know, but no one's telling you. My name is Dr. Adam Tice, and today we're going to be talking about states of awareness, the FDA, peer pressure, and more of our immunity conversation. So let's start off. I was doing some reading over the weekend and reading some new material, and just reminded about just the different states of awareness. And there are many different models to go through this, and I just want to touch on this briefly just to kind of introduce this concept. It's maybe not a new concept to you, but it's definitely something that I think we all have to be reminded of each day. And so what I wanted to share with you guys is this model that I was kind of studying the last day or two of different states of awareness. And there's basically this is pertinent to our conversation, because how do you view the reality that you're in? So this particular model is a four kind of a states of awareness. And the first state is to me, means that the world is always happening to me. Things from the outside are out of my control, and the world is happening to me. These things are just how it is, and ultimately I am at the mercy of things happening to me, and then it puts me in a sort of a defensive state where I have to constantly deal with these things that are happening to me. Makes the individual a victim all the time. And this is in how the stories we tell ourselves. The way out of that is through responsibility. And when we start to take responsibility, I mean a radical kind of responsibility for everything that you are experiencing, you move through that domain, through and out of that state. And by the way, these are not sequential states. These are states that you may even pop into and find yourself into these, maybe some of these different states, even in a 24-hour period. But be mindful of this. So the first state that people can be in is the to me, the victimhood state. Through radical responsibility, self-responsibility, taking responsibility, you can move through into a by me state. Means the world is created by me. I am a creator. And in this way, we carve our way through the world through visioning what is it that we really want? What is it that we really want to do in the world? What is it that we really want to create? And then no matter what is going on in the outside world, we create that by me. It is that creation is by me. So this is another state that we can be in. And none of these are necessarily good or bad or better than the other. They're just different states to be aware of. The next state that we can talk about is through me. And this is kind of there is kind of an evolution through these, I think. But nonetheless, they can all exist within one person within a 24-hour period. So just watch. The next state is a through me. So the world, and this is when you have been operating in the by me state as a creator, there will come a point where the doorway from by me, the world happening by me, creating, and the world happening through me, is surrender. This is where we really surrender to what is. So we've got clarity on what is that we're creating. Now, what is the greatest, the ultimate expression that can come through me to actualize and manifest and work in this space? And the doorway through is through surrender. And I interpret that as surrender to God, surrender to a power greater than ourselves. And then we start to do God's work. How can God work through this instrument and be a creator and raise and elevate our own creations and our own world. How can we elevate through that? And then the final state of awareness is essentially pure state of oneness, where the world is experienced as me, where you no longer have any boundary between the consciousness that you're experiencing and the outer world. I would interpret this as a pure state of oneness, as a kind of, it's a very high state of awareness. And I think it's not very common that people go into this state without some training, practice in the mind sciences and meditation, yoga, prayer, some kind of a seasoning and a ripening that happens where you hit that point and you truly experience the world as me. You experience that connectedness, that interconnectedness, that state of oneness, the non-dual state of awareness. I think this is a peak state of awareness. So these are these different states of awareness. So I just wanted you guys to kind of just want to share that with you and see, give us all a chance. And I was reminded, each day you got to game up again. Welcome to Earth again. There's no free rides. Nobody's going to give you anything. Nobody's going to be, just wake up and be like, you know what? That guy's a really good guy. I think I'm just going to, deposit like, 100,000 Bitcoin into this guy's wallet just because he's a really nice guy, and just because, right? Or whatever. You get the point. I mean, I'm being kind of, facetious, silly now, but nobody's going to give us anything. The world, yes, does provide for us, and ultimately, the world gives us exactly what we need. But our inner state and our minds and our consciousness, and this is part of the human experience, we go through this every day. Every day we can choose to be a victim, choose to have the world happening to us. So I was just reminded in my own awareness where, and this is all, the invitation is to scan the inner space. Scan your inner space and see, where in my life am I not taking responsibility? Where in my world do I feel like somebody, some place, some situation, something is doing something to me that's out of my control? And then where can I step that up? Where can I find some responsibility there and move through that so that I can create a new outcome, so that I can create a more desirable, a more favorable outcome for myself, so that I'm not a victim, so that I'm not at the whim and really in a state of powerlessness. So the responsibility is about taking power and moving out of victim consciousness to me, and moving through by me, where I can create, where I really meditate, contemplate on what is it that I desire to create and experience in this world, and how can I take more responsibility, more ownership, and step into that potential and actualize that potential, and then through that process become empowered and infused with that divine energy, where we surrender and then we let God work through us, and then we're working through me, manifesting and creating on a different level. Okay. So that's the invitation. And then moving through that even into experiencing where the world is you. There is no division. The line blurs, the veil lifts, and you really experience that oneness, that Advaita state, where they talk about this in the yogic sciences. They talk about this in the Bible. They talk about this in all the sacred traditions. This experience of oneness and connectedness, which is, that also has some stages built into it. So maybe we can unpack that another time, but just wanted to introduce these 4 states. And the invitation is just to scan your world and see how much time in a given day are you spending in each of these different states. And then what can you do to shift into higher states of consciousness more amount of the time, Okay, so every day we got to do this. Every day, even if one day, and this is the human experience, one day, you may be hanging around your spiritual community, doing your meditations, doing your prayers, and everything is like, hallelujah, Shanti, I'm super connected, everything's feeling good. And then 1 or 2 days later, back into some kind of a victim consciousness where somebody is doing something to you. And who's going to be good at this? Who's going to be really the best to kind of scan and be hyper aware? Family, close friends. This is where we get a chance to see these different states of awareness kind of pop up. So be aware, scan the state, see where this is going on. That's really the message that I wanted to kind of talk about and deliver today. So you guys meditate, contemplate, think about that. Let me know what you think. Leave some comments below. After you scan your space, tell me what you think. What are you noticing? Any input or insights into this that we can share collectively? And I think, get into more of that space, spending more and more time in a given day doing God's work, where we've moved out of a victim state where things happening to me, and we've definitely move into the state of being a creator, and the world is created by me. And really, I think getting into, again, surrendering to that and then doing that work where the energy, that divine energy, God is moving through me and doing the work. I think that's really the outcome. So, you know what? I think that's the meditation that I want to leave it at right now. We're just going to leave it at that for today. I have some other topics. We're going to talk about, how about tomorrow we talk about peer pressure and FDA approval, and continue our conversations on immunity. Let's save that for tomorrow. And of course, whatever else comes up tomorrow in our clinic that we think is good and vital and worth sharing. So I think that's it for now. In our membership community, you guys are getting first access to these downloads that we're doing, the daily downloads. I have decided that I think we will have this conversation, of course, premiere these inside our private community, which we have. So anybody that wants to join that community, please join that. We can it'll be a link in the description there below. So I think I'm going to leave these, and then a couple 2 days later, what I've decided is we do still need to reach out into the greater world. So I think I am going to put these on YouTube, but we're going to save them for the first kind of a dose in our private community, and then we'll put them out to the greater world. So I hope that's okay with everybody. Still kind of want to find that balance between having an intimate conversation with our private community and then also reaching out to people. We talked about this the other day. We want to be totally in the private, but there is this transition time where we do still need to lean on some of the legacy social medias like YouTube, and because that's, just to be honest, that's where the people are. So we still need to reach out and grab our people, the people that are out there looking for us, because that's a big part of what we're doing is putting the message out there and looking for our people, sending that message out there. So if this kind of a talk resonates you with these messages that we're sharing, this information that we're sharing, again, this is stuff that this is everything that you need to know, but nobody's telling you. Nobody's talking about this stuff. I mean, some people are, but still on the big spectrum of things, nobody's really talking about this stuff. So that's what we want to do, is bring all that stuff to the forefront and elevate ourselves, elevate our friends, our family, the people around us. So that's what we're doing. So you guys leave your comments below. If you're in the group, let me know what you think. We will continue these conversations. And otherwise, you can still like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. That, of course, helps get this momentum and get this message out while we're sort of walking in two worlds here and bridging this, where we have the new world, the private world, working toward a decentralized world where it is truly just our people. And we are walking that path right now, very strong. So that's the message for today. You guys have a great rest of your day wherever you are. And we will continue our conversations mañana. Until then, thank you so much. You guys have a great night. Adios.